Alright, it's Thursday. It's technically my endurance ride today, but we got 2.5 hours on this ride. And I also have a swim on the docket today. I'll probably do that later today. Right now it's supposed to be purely zone 2. It's staying in the aero bar position for 60% of the ride. 6-0. The reason being, made the build of the endurance to be able to hold this position for a number of hours when I'm racing the Ironman. Right now it's about 5 a.m. again, and get my ride in early as I can. We're doing the carbs, we're doing the electrolytes. One part people may not know going into endurance is how much it costs for fueling. Buying gels, buying electrolytes, buying carbs. I'm doing it all the time because if I do a 5.5-hour ride, I'm trying to take 100 grams of carbs an hour, so 5 hours, 500 carbs. That's multiple gels, that's multiple scoops of the carbs and electrolytes. It adds up. I did see this, that you can create your own carb mix, like you just buy the raw ingredients and make it yourself. Takes more work, but I suppose you're saving money. It just depends where you're at. Last week when you saw me on the bike doing that long ride, I got sick after. I don't know if I had too many carbs. I don't know if it was not enough sodium. Since I was indoors, I thought, okay, I don't need as much sodium. But I did have a lot of in and out after a long ride. I'm not sure. But I was in a world of pain for about 2 days with stomach issues. And I'm willing to make that experiment or do that trial and error every week until I figure it out before race day, because I want to get it right. One thing that I'm focusing on this week is my attitude towards training. What Rachel Entrekin said about, I want to like who I am when things get hard. And there's some days where I think to myself, I have to do this training today. I have to do it. I don't really have to do it. Nobody's forcing me to do this. And if I feel like I have to do this every day, maybe I'm doing it for the wrong reasons, right? So the attitude shift that I'm working on is that I get to do this. I get to train, I get to put in the work, and what a blessing it is to be able to take my body there. For example, this morning I woke up at 4. I woke up about an hour before my workouts, and I was excited. I was excited to get on this 2.5-hour endurance ride. It's not sprints, it's not fast riding, the zone 2 ride. And I was stoked because I know that the work I put in today is going to bear fruits for me on race day. Not only on race day, it's helping me bear fruits with my mental framework and wiring. I don't think I would be as emotionally mature without doing these hard events. I don't think I would understand the Word of God as well as I do now without doing these endurance events. Well, I was lacking in some areas, and these endurance activities, these intense slog fests, these intense workouts, fast-tracked my maturity or helped me gain more wisdom so that I become a better person. And yeah, there's other ways to do it, but for me, I feel like I was able to fast track it doing these hard exercises. Going into all my trainings is prep. I'm gonna try to keep the mindset. I get to do this. Your attitude, you can control that. Whether you're getting frustrated in the water, you're losing concentration, you're waking up with sore legs before a track workout, you don't want to do that extra leg day lift. Or let's take it out, let's remove training from this. You don't want to put in the extra effort to help that friend out, that significant other. You don't want to, but you have to. No, you get to. You don't want to work on the business today. No, I get to work on the business today. And I get to work on it because I know that all these things that we're working towards, it's for the betterment of other people. And that whole attitude change is completely rewired my brain because I've removed the me mindset. Well, I'm trying to. I'm not perfect. And trying to put the focus on helping other people and knowing that if I'm the one that has to suffer, if I'm the one that has to do this, I'll endure it so that I can help other people in their faith, their businesses, inspiring them to take up fitness.
It's 5 a.m. right now. I'm about to go on my long ride, 3.5 hours, which the long rides are getting longer. They're eventually going to get to 5.5 hours long. So technically, this is a short, long ride. I'm just fueling up. All my drinks are ready. We got some Go Gels, Cliff Bars. So I got the fuel ready. I'm just going to sit here, finish my protein yogurt, drink some caffeine, and I'm gonna hop on the road. It's still dark outside, so I'm just waiting just a little bit longer. It won't get light till about 5:30, so we're almost there.
So this week's volume was a little bit bigger than last week's. And I think the most crucial part I want to note on this is the controlled intensity. It's the only thing that's keeping me in one piece. I'm expending a lot of energy from 4 a.m. to probably 10 p.m. every night. I'm not getting enough sleep. But the one thing that's really helped me from not overexerting myself is making sure that my easy days in my training are easy and my hard days are hard. The one thing people get mistaken in Ironman training or any endurance training is they think they need to go 110% every single day. And that's not the case. It actually requires a massive amount of discipline to not do that. I have to hold myself back. For example, you saw I did a 2.5 hour zone 2 endurance ride. It has to be controlled intensity, a specific cadence. It was boring, and what kept me sane was watching a podcast. I was listening to a book. Although it was boring and maybe I needed those other things that cannot keep me from dreading it, is the keeping the constant reminder of my why and a constant reminder that those days are the days that make a difference when you come race day. Those are those days because you're also training your mind. So a lot of people do ask me what I do outside of training. Yeah, I'm not a pro athlete. Although I would like to be doing this full time, I'm not. So I run a B2B brand positioning firm. And a lot of what I do is helping other businesses take their product to the market and bring in new customers and build up brand equity in their business. So, in a part of what I'm building is that I'm making my own documentary about my Ironman last year. I've already premiered it in the local community, but I have now filmed more scenes for the documentary. I'm editing that, and this is part of a bigger play to build a credibility and more overall awareness for my firm. The hardest part about building this agency is showing other businesses and enterprises that we can execute what we say we can do, and overall just letting them know that we exist and that we exist to solve their problem. I'm not waiting for permission for other people, whether it's a film festival circuits, other corporate clients, that we are credible enough to do the task. So I'm going ahead and building my own brand, my own assets, so that we can control the distribution, we can control how the PR is, so that we can bring people to us and we can show them the value that we bring. So I do have a lesson I was focusing on for the week, and I'll share it with you now. It's not hyper focusing on what others are doing and what they think of us. And people cannot read your mind. They just cannot do it. If you want a corporate client, if you want a sponsor to underwrite an event for you, or if you want something or someone in your personal life, you have to be bold enough to state your intentions and ask for it. Now, I'm not preaching at you here at all. In fact, I'm talking to myself. A lot of the times I don't think I'm bold enough in what I want. I may think I am, but I realize that people don't even know what I'm aiming for, and not that they need to know, but I can't expect them to read my mind. So this is me saying, let's stop playing defense and let's start playing some offense and being a little bit more bold in our day-to-day and not focusing on what everyone else is doing. And this is all I got for the week. I had a 17-hour training week, which is my biggest one in this prep. This is week number 18 in the Ironman build. Simultaneously, we're building a business and working a day job and trying to stay grounded. I appreciate all of you for being here and watching this video and watching my story, hearing about it. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next week.